Hello everyone and welcome back to Freedom Through Confidence. My name is Ben, and in this video today I want to share with you a very simple philosophy on how to move past your mistakes and how to overcome failure in your life. Now, throughout your journey of confidence and self-improvement, you are going to come across a lot of disappointments and setbacks and failures and all these kinds of things that are going to feel like they are completely derailing your progress and getting in the way of you becoming the kind of person that you want to be. But in this video, I want to share with you today exactly how mistakes are all part of the process, and if you didn't make any mistakes or experience any failures, then you wouldn't move forward and you wouldn't be able to achieve your goals. You see, mistakes and failures and setbacks are not something that we need to be afraid of, because they are the very things that actually drive us forward towards accomplishing what we want in life, no matter what it is. And a fear of mistakes is only going to keep you still and stuck where you are, or worse, it will let life push you backwards. If you are so afraid of making a mistake that you never take action, then your goal is going to move on with or without you. Now, one of the main things that used to stop me from taking any action for fear of making a mistake is knowing that other people might see the mistake that I made and that they might judge me, or I might feel embarrassed, especially if it is a very public failure. And that kind of fear used to keep me absolutely paralyzed to the point where I just wasn't going after anything, and I was starting to become very depressed about the situation that I was in, because on the one hand I knew that I could go and do something different and be something more and be better, but I was so afraid of making any kind of mistakes that I couldn't even move forward, and at certain points I even started sliding backwards. But here's the thing about other people: they all have their own lives, and most people are so focused on themselves that they will hardly ever notice your mistakes, and when they do, they're going to forget about them in no time at all. Because if you were to sit down and think about it right now, you will be able to bring to mind memories of many times you've seen people in public mess up or embarrass themselves or fail in some way, and until you have just now started to think about them, they probably wouldn't really be springing to mind at all, because you're so focused on yourself and making sure that you don't make any mistakes that you don't even notice when other people do it. And it is the exact same way with those people. We are all so focused on ourselves that it's not viable for us to pay attention to every little mistake that everyone else makes all the time. On the one hand, it might be a little bit disheartening to hear that the majority of people in the world do not care about you, even in the slightest, but it can also be something really empowering. I find the concept of that to be very empowering. The people that do care about me are very special, and the other 7.3 billion people out there in the world who don't care about me means that I can move forward and make mistakes and face failure time and time again, and it won't matter, because even if they do see it and even if they do point and laugh, they're going to forget about it in a day or a week or a month or so. And is that worth you never taking the action to protect yourself from the opinion of someone who is going to forget about you in almost no time at all, in a fraction of your life, in the blink of an eye, on a cosmic scale? Mistakes are part of the journey. They are one of the most important parts of your journey, but you cannot be afraid to make them. It is exactly as the old saying goes: the obstacle that stands in the way becomes the way. you have to go through those mistakes and those failures and those embarrassments and setbacks in order to become the person that you need to be to actually achieve your goal. And just remember that just because you have failed at something, it doesn't make you a failure. It is a generalization that we make about ourselves all the time. We fail at something and we brand ourselves as a failure, or we embarrass ourselves and we brand ourselves as an embarrassment. But failing doesn't make you a failure any more than baking a cake makes you a professional baker. It's just something that happened. It's just something that you did. And the great thing about mistakes is that you can learn from them, and the more you learn from your mistakes, the less likely you are to make them, and the less likely you are to care about them in the future, because the more mistakes and the more failures and the more setbacks that you go through in life, the more you realise that they actually don't matter. The person who has only ever made 1 or 2 mistakes in their lives will probably live under the constant fear of failure, but the person that has made 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 mistakes and has suffered countless failures and setbacks and embarrassments is going to know that none of those things matter in the grand scale of your life and what you could achieve. They just don't matter. And I know it's super easy for me to sit behind a camera and say this, and I know how scary it is to try and move on from your mistakes and embarrassments, setbacks and failures, but believe me when I say that the more you do it, the easier it becomes, and the more you learn and the faster you learn. Because failure is not the end of the line. You fail, you learn, and then you fail better next time until you achieve your goal. And that is my very simple philosophy on how to deal with failures and setbacks and moving on from your mistakes. So I hope you have found that useful. If you have any thoughts, any feelings, any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comment section below. Of course, make sure to smash a like on this video if you have found it useful, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this on a regular basis. I do hope you have found this video useful in some way, and I look forward to having you back on this channel watching more content just like this in the future very soon.